We start with 1 hour chart. Just I want to give a quick update. If you refer to my last analysis, when the price was in this move, we mentioned we're looking for buy, and this is what we get. Anyway, we mentioned if this one turned to a deeper correction, how if we get any drop with the breakout of this, it can give us better opportunity to look for buy. But beside that, we mentioned the price can continue from here. If we get any trade setup, also we can look for buy. The only way to look for trade either from here or this correction. We had it entry above the top, but since we see the way move is really corrective, we can sell it. All right. Now we mentioned if we get any continuation, the next level we're looking for is 13060. Okay. Anyway, whoever get the trade, they have to start to manage it because what if you refer to the indicators, we see we have a divergence. Okay. The only things we need to know that mostly when we're looking, we see this kind of the divergence. What we can expect to get the correction similar to what we get here. That means we can look for flat for continuation. This is the best things if we can get, and we can confirm for continuation. But let us to have a look based on higher time frame. If we move to daily chart, as we mentioned, we could expect the price to consolidate here since the price after we get this down move. And we mentioned after that we're looking for reversal, and this is what we get. Now we want to see whether we can get the continuation or not, and how we can look for trade. And if we move to forward chart, the only key the important things we need to highlight here based on forward chart is that we're looking for buy since the price was within this move, and this is exactly what we get. And especially we have been looking for buy when the price was within this range because we had a confirmation to look for. But when we get this correction, I mentioned we can look for buy. The only thing is we need to know about this bigger picture. That's why I was keep highlighting about the getting the proper trade setup because we don't want to buy at the top of this flat if the price drop. I mentioned if, right? The only thing is technically we can have this one and we have this flat. Okay, but since most of the charts we have this kind of the movement and they have been following since after we get this down move, that's why we cannot conform with this. All right, and what we see when since the price was here, we mentioned we're looking for continuation as a buy, and this is what we get. But as long as the price haven't broke the previous top, which is this one is almost 3k, any trade within this range we need to be really careful. We consider it a short term based on lower time frame. We should have the proper management. We want to see breakout of this one and continuation. Because if the price couldn't break, then we can expect to get one more drop. And especially based on 1 hour chart, we have a divergence. But the forward chart doesn't give us any information for the price to drop. For sure, if the price drop in terms of the risk and reward, it can give us really good trade setup, especially similar to what we get here because we get a really good trade from here within the lower range, and this is what this is the risk and this is the reward if we move to 15 minutes. All right, that's why if the price drop in terms of the technical, the risk and reward, it can give us really good trade. But we mentioned for the long term we're looking for buy. All right, beside all this whatever I just give it as information. The conclusion is that we're looking for buy. The only things, as long as the price haven't broke the 30k, 3k, we need to be really careful because of this possibility. All right. In this case, we move to 1 hour chart. We want to see how we can look for trade. Don't have any trade setup. We can look for continuation. The only way is we trade based on 1 hour or mostly 15 minutes with the small trades. Based on the flag, the small correction. Any trade will be a short-term trade. We can look for trades for any of this, but it's a short-term trade. As long as we get into the profit, we have to start to manage. The reason is first, we want to see the breakout of this top. Second, we have a divergence. Technically, mostly we could expect to get one more correction for flat before we get the continuation. All right. Anyway, whoever get the trade within this move their stop loss to break even. And the only thing is we want to see whether the price can break 3k or not. In this case, we just follow the chart. We don't have any trade setup based on 1 hour chart unless we trade based on 15 minutes. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.